Hong Kong to send its first astronaut to space in Chinese rocket. And a deadly gas explosion kills at least 90 in northern China. Good evening, and thank you for joining us. The Shenzhou 23 manned spacecraft is scheduled to take off tomorrow night at 11:08. Its 3 crew members include the very first Hong Kong-born astronaut, Lai Ka-ying, who will be the 4th ever Chinese female astronaut. The Hong Kong native says she will give her all in the mission. One day before the launch of the Shenzhou 23 manned spacecraft, the 3 astronauts meet the press at the Jiuquan Satellite Launch Center. Among them is 43-year-old Hong Kong Police Superintendent Lai Ka-ying, who is poised to be the first female payload specialist on the Chinese space station.
作为一名普通的香港人
Lai says as an ordinary Hong Kong citizen, being selected for this mission is a precious opportunity. She says she will give her all to undertake the mission and contribute to the development of the nation. Lai also spoke in Cantonese this morning.
多謝大家嘅支持同埋關心，我會好好加油，大家一齊努力，一定會有更好嘅明天。謝謝。
Lai joined the team in August 2024 and completed 8 major categories with over 200 training subjects, accumulating more than 1,700 class hours. She passed the flight qualification evaluation with excellent results.
狮子山精神早已刻在我的心里。
Exhorting young people in Hong Kong, Lai says the city's lion rock spirit of never giving up is deeply connected to her space journey. She says this belief in resilience has carried her throughout the process. She encourages Hong Kong's young people to contribute to the SAR and the motherland. Zhu Yangzhu, who took part in the Shenzhou 16 manned spacecraft mission, serves as the commander this time. He is the first Chinese astronaut to serve as commander and an aerospace flight engineer.
融入团队很快，角色的转换也很快。
Zhu describes Lai as resilient, intelligent, and optimistic, having quickly integrated into the team. Also making his debut in space was Zhang Zhiyuan, who was an Air Force pilot. Lai was chosen from around 120 Hong Kong candidates, but her path in life was not without bumps.
記得我小時候
Speaking in an interview with CCTV, she revealed she nearly had to repeat a year in primary school before later discovering her passion for computer science. She later joined the Technical Services Division of the Hong Kong Police Force.
杨世忠说了，
She adds she was moved to tears after hearing China's first astronaut Yang Liwei cite the remarks of overseas Chinese that the higher China's spacecraft flies, the higher Chinese people can hold their heads.
我就要进行一个72小時不睡覺的訓練。
She says some endurance training required them to stay awake for 72 hours, and her police experience has helped. But the 48-hour desert survival training was tougher, as she's not very good with heat, she says. The upcoming mission marks China's first crew composed of the 3rd and 4th batches of astronauts, with 1 astronaut carrying out a 1-year flight mission to implement China's first research on human body in space. Lai's mission will make Hong Kong the 56th country or region in the world to successfully send a resident to space. Hong Kong's first astronaut Lai Ka-ying is a senior police officer who is a trained computer security specialist and holds a PhD. Her doctoral supervisor describes her out-of-this-world journey as an embodiment of the Hong Kong spirit. Lai Ka-ying spent a decade studying at the University of Hong Kong. From her undergraduate studies to a doctorate, her focus is on cybersecurity and computer-related disciplines. From an information technology expert to a payload specialist in space, what connects Lai to her work now in space exploration? Supervising Lai's doctoral thesis on online copyright infringement was her longtime mentor, cybersecurity expert Dr. Chow Ken-pui. The honorary associate professor at the School of Computing and Data Science at HKU's Faculty of Engineering says Lai was an excellent student, hardworking, responsible, and highly committed. The pair co-authored multiple academic papers and have become close friends over the years. Having known her for more than a decade, Chow says Lai did not mention a dream to explore space. Chow says it was only much later when she officially joined Hong Kong's astronaut selection program that she revealed the wish. She says in life you have to give things a shot. Describing Lai as a meticulous and patient person, Chow says conducting experiments in space or delivering lessons from orbit would not faze her, expressing confidence she can fulfill the duties of a payload specialist. Lai is a police superintendent and the mother of 3 children. And now she adds another title, Hong Kong's first astronaut. Chow says our homegrown astronaut truly represents Hong Kong's lion rock spirit, and Kai Ying's journey shows us anything is possible if we try. Chief Executive John Lee congratulates Hong Kong's first astronaut Lai Ka-ying on her appointment as a payload specialist on the Shenzhou 23 spaceship. He also wishes success for her fellow crew members on their space-bound mission. Timothy Lee reports.
Chief Executive John Lee notes his excitement over Lai Ka-ying becoming the city's first astronaut, coinciding with the start of the National 15th Five-Year Plan this year. He congratulates Lai and wishes the crew members of the Shenzhou 23 spaceship a successful mission. The CE thanks the nation for its trust in Hong Kong and granting this opportunity to a member of the local community, adding the city feels honored by Lai's participation in the program. Lai Ka-ying is expected to conduct research-related tasks aboard the space station, including the use of this multispectral imaging carbon observatory, otherwise known as MUSICO. The device is capable of detecting carbon dioxide and methane with high precision. Hong Kong scientists will also have the chance to interact with Lai during her time in space. With Leinnan University being a key data provider for MUSICO, Li Jia, the director of the university's Shenzhen Research Institute and developer of the project, says Lai's training was shorter compared to her peers. Li, who is also a good friend of Lai, says the latter underwent intense training but never complained, emphasizing her unwavering spirit is a common trait among the nation's astronauts. Many residents and tourists visiting the Hong Kong Space Museum today were eager to share their excitement over Lai Ka-ying's appointment as the city's first astronaut and her participation in the upcoming Shenzhou 23 mission. But some young people stress the education sector should do more to generate interest in aerospace development among the student community.
That is kind of awesome.
It could definitely raise interest for other people, or in different areas, since people might realize that their origins might not actually matter if it's possible for them to join in this industry as an astronaut.
I feel like people know it, but they don't talk about it that much. Like how she said, if people are originally interested in space, they would be talking more about it. Space is such a strange concept to people just day to day.
Meanwhile, the University of Hong Kong congratulates their alumna, saying Lai's mission not only marks a moment of pride for the university in Hong Kong, but also a new chapter of deep participation by Hong Kong's scientific community in national space programs. Timothy Lee, TVB News.
The China Manned Space Agency says Hong Kong will contribute more to the development of the nation's manned space program. This as Shenzhou 23 crew continues space science and application work. The space agency says the Shenzhou 23 crew is in good condition and will complete the in-orbit rotation with the Shenzhou 21 crew. The main purpose of the Shenzhou 23 mission is to complete the in-orbit rotation with the Shenzhou 21 crew and conduct extravehicular activities, among other duties. Meanwhile, Hong Kong's contribution to the Chinese space program extends beyond Lai Ka-ying. The Tianzhou 10 spacecraft, to be launched this month, will carry a greenhouse gas monitoring instrument developed by the Hong Kong University of Science and Technology. More projects are set to be under research and development. And still ahead, World Health Organization raises Ebola risk in Congo to very high. Turbulence on Cathay Pacific flight from Brisbane injures 10. And Hong Kong dance company turns brushstrokes into movement in its latest production. Welcome back. A gas explosion at a coal mine in China's northern Shanxi province kills at least 90 people. This as authorities continue to search for survivors.
The blast reportedly happened underground during mine operations Friday evening.
At the coal mine where the blast occurred, the mine entrance reportedly has a steep slope of around 30 degrees, and all rescue supplies can only be transported in and out by mine cars. State broadcaster CCTV reported some 400 rescue workers are taking part in the underground search and rescue efforts. The explosion happened at around 7:30 Friday night at the Liushenyu coal mine of Tongzhou Group, located in Qingyuan County of Chengzhi City in Shanxi. Xinhua News Agency reports the monitoring system at the mine showed carbon monoxide levels exceeded the standard, with 247 workers underground on duty at the time. The injured were rushed to a hospital for treatment. The doctor at Qingyuan County People's Hospital says they have tailored treatment plans for each injured worker, including oxygen therapy and hyperbaric oxygen. President Xi Jinping is ordering all-out efforts to strengthen search and rescue operations. Following the blast, authorities have taken away the person in charge of the mining company for investigations. Shanxi province is known as China's main coal mining province. With a population of around 34 million, the province has hundreds of thousands of miners dug 1.3 billion tons of coal last year, or almost a third of China's total.
The World Health Organization says Ebola's Bundibugyo strain in the Democratic Republic of the Congo now poses a very high risk, up from the previous categorization of high. Although it assesses the public health risk of the disease spreading globally remains low. Authorities in northeastern Congo have curtailed funeral wakes in an effort to contain the deadly outbreak. Danny Zhou has the report.
Tedros Adhanom Ghebreyesus, the WHO's Director General, declared at a news conference Friday that the epidemic remains a deep concern. He said the agency is revising risk assessment for the rare Bundibugyo virus of Ebola, for which there's currently no approved vaccine or specific treatments, to very high at the national level, high at the regional level, and low at the global level. The disease spread for weeks across DA Congo that's reeling from international aid cuts and widespread displacement caused by armed conflicts.
There are definitely those political and security contexts that we have to take into consideration, and particularly where we have limited access due to either security or other factors, it really makes it very hard to be able to interrupt the transmission, because you cannot have the surveillance activities implemented, you cannot deploy the supplies that you need quite easily, and you cannot also set up treatment facilities in areas where you cannot be able to guarantee the safety for the people.
Nearly 750 suspected cases of Ebola and 177 suspected deaths have surfaced in the region so far. Still, both WHO and the Africa Centers for Disease Control and Prevention say the outbreak is believed to be much larger than what is reported. Supplies are being rushed to the heart of the outbreak, Ituri. An incident manager on the DA Congo's National Ebola Response Team notes the sick mingled with the general population at hospitals and urges the strengthening of triage and isolation. The Ituri provincial government has imposed a ban on funeral wakes and public gatherings of over 50 people. This just a day after a special treatment center in the town of Rampara was set alight by local youths who clashed with police while trying to recover the body of a friend. Officials say the arson attack was because the youths didn't understand the health protocols required for burying suspected Ebola victims. Meanwhile, in neighboring Uganda, 3 new Ebola virus cases were confirmed on Saturday, bringing the total number of confirmed infections to 5 in the country. The US Centers for Disease Control and Prevention has expanded the scope of temporary entry restrictions to green card holders who have been to Ebola-affected areas, including in DA Congo, Uganda and South Sudan. Danny Zhou, TVB News.
U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio said Friday that slight progress was made during talks with Iran as Pakistan's army chief traveled to Tehran in a renewed effort to mediate a peace deal, and uncertainty loomed over whether war will resume. This as Iran says peace talks are not close to an agreement. Iran's foreign ministry said they would not reach a conclusion if they delve into details related to highly enriched uranium in Iran. Tracy Furness has more.
Speaking in Helsingborg, Sweden, alongside NATO Secretary-General Mark Rutte before a meeting of NATO foreign ministers, US Secretary of State Marco Rubio said there have been some slight progress in conversations on Iran, but still insists Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon.
Been some slight progress. I don't want to exaggerate it, but there's been a little bit of movement, and that's good. The fundamentals remain the same. Iran can never have a nuclear weapon. It just cannot. This regime can never have nuclear weapons. And to achieve that, we're going to have to address the issue of enrichment. We're going to have to address the issue of the highly enriched uranium.
After the review conference of the parties to the Treaty on the Non-Proliferation of Nuclear Weapons failed Friday to agree on a final document, the president of the conference, Zhao Hongviet, expressed concern for the future health of the treaty and said he was disappointed it was unable to really seize this critical opportunity to make the world a safer place. This as US President Donald Trump defended his war against Iran and insisted that Tehran wants to settle so badly.
Now Iran, their navy's gone, their air force is gone, everything's gone, their leaders are gone. And if you read the fake news, you'd think they're doing just fine. They're not doing just fine. They want to settle so badly.
Tracy Furness, TVB News.
U.S. Director of National Intelligence Tulsi Gabbard resigns, citing she needs to take care of her husband, who is battling a rare form of bone cancer. She is the fourth cabinet member to depart during U.S. President Donald Trump's second term. Gabbard will leave her job overseeing the coordination of 18 intelligence agencies on June 30th. Trump, in a social media post, says Gabbard has done an incredible job and that she will be missed. There had been rumblings Gabbard would split with Trump after the president's decision to strike Iran. A veteran and former Democratic Congresswoman from Hawaii, she built her political career on her opposition to foreign wars. Gabbard's principal deputy, Aaron Lucas, will serve as acting director of national intelligence. A Cathay Pacific flight from Brisbane, Australia was hit with turbulence en route to Hong Kong early this morning, injuring 10 people. Cathay Pacific says flight CX-156 departed from Brisbane on Friday evening and encountered turbulence as it was heading to Hong Kong. Upon arrival in at approximately 7 a.m., medical personnel boarded the aircraft to examine the situation. 6 flight attendants and 4 passengers sustained injuries, with 8 taken to North Lantau Hospital for treatment. Most of them sustained minor abrasions, while some flight attendants required neck braces. From brushstrokes to dance, the Hong Kong Dance Company is reinterpreting the works of ink art master Wu Guangzhong across different artistic mediums in its latest production. Take a look.
Chinese ink splashed and flowed through the canvas. Embodied in these swirling dancers and Chinese instrumental music. Presented by the Hong Kong Dance Company, the troupe's latest production, In Between Wu Guangzhong's Ink Odyssey, delivers a love letter to the Chinese ink master. In a poetic space, the fluidity of the abstract calligraphic art articulated across different mediums. Huang Wenjie, principal dancer of the performance, says the lines and contours in Wu's works are never mechanical, inspiring their choreography and dance moves to allow room for the body to breathe, tremble, and even fracture, with Wu's signature negative space, the courage to leave things unsaid. As the nonprofit dance group celebrates its 45th anniversary this year, its executive director Maggie Chang says the production also resonates with their vision.
Wu Guangzhong has been very well renowned for his very unique East meets West and integrated artistic expression, which actually coincide with Hong Kong Dance Company artistic expression. We always try to innovate our traditional dance into contemporary form. It feels like you are actually watching a painting on stage, but it fills with dynamism and also vivid colors.
Apart from the Hong Kong Cultural Center right here, the dance troupe has also been staging Wu Guangzhong-themed performances at the Hong Kong Museum of Art since April. Notably, the museum houses more than 450 works by Wu Guangzhong, the largest collection in the world.
Creating a dialogue that transcends the East and West, just like the Chinese ink master himself who studied in Paris, the production forms part of the French-made Arts Festival and the Chinese Culture Festival 2026. In a cross-disciplinary but also cross-cultural collaboration, French artists Sophie Lally and Dominique Diot have been invited to serve as the production's visual and light designers.
Wu Guangzhong came in France and he has this inspiration from his painting. It's going to really change something in his work. It was to bring something more poetical and the context about the inspiration.
And that's the news. Thank you for watching.